The discovery began beneath the Andean ice shelf, where a drilling crew uncovered something that shouldn't exist: a slab of obsidian carved with symbols older than any human language. When exposed to sunlight, it sang, not through vibration, but through thought. Dr. Elara Voss, lead xenolinguist of the Global Research Accord, recorded the frequencies. They weren't random. They matched neural patterns. The slab was talking back. Her team worked for weeks decoding its resonance. Then, on a storm-heavy night, it activated, projecting a holographic map of Earth, but not as it was now. The continents were younger, greener, surrounded by luminous geometric structures floating above the oceans. "What are those?" her assistant whispered. "Cities," Elara murmured, "but not human ones." When they overlaid the map with ancient mythological references, chills swept through the lab. Every floating structure aligned perfectly with the legends of lost civilizations: Atlantis, Mu, Hyperborea, Shambhala. Elara leaned closer to the slab. "You're not history," she whispered. "You're memory." That night, a message pulsed through her dreams, a voice deep as the planet's heartbeat. "When the sky blood returns, awaken what sleeps. Earth remembers her children." She awoke trembling. Outside, the auroras were red, and somewhere deep within the earth, something answered. Weeks after the Andean event, strange phenomena erupted across the globe. Magnetic fields fluctuated, lightning storms formed in patterns resembling ancient runes, and certain people began hearing faint whispers when they slept. Elara joined a UN task force alongside physicist Dr. Reza Karim and archaeologist Mara Solon. They compared DNA from the affected individuals, and what they found defied biology. Hidden within human genetic code was an encrypted strand, inert until now. "It's not mutation," Reza said. "It's activation." The activation sequence matched the harmonic frequencies of the singing stone. When they tested Elara's own blood, the lab lights flickered. Her heartbeat synchronized with an electrical hum that filled the room. Then she heard it again, the same voice as before, whispering in her mind. "You are the keepers of the covenant, the guardians lost to time." Her vision flooded with images, towers of living metal, beings of light walking beside humans, a war against something beyond the stars. Elara collapsed, trembling. "It's not mythology," she gasped. "It's memory. We're descendants of them." Mara stared, pale. "Of who?" Elara met her gaze. "The first civilization. The ones who fought the darkness before history began." News feeds lit up worldwide. Dormant temples across continents began glowing with synchronized energy. Humanity's myths were no longer fiction, they were awakening. Within months, the world transformed. Energy readings spiked at every ancient site: Egypt's pyramids, the Amazon's ziggurats, the ruins beneath the Antarctic crust. They weren't tombs, they were resonance nodes, a global lattice buried under myth. Satellite scans revealed pulsing energy lines connecting all sites to one central source: Mount Kailash, long called the axis of the world. The world's militaries mobilized, fearing alien invasion. But Elara convinced the Concord to send a research expedition instead. When their team reached Kailash's summit, the air itself seemed alive, each breath vibrating with song. The ice parted on its own, revealing a massive crystal monolith covered in script that predated every language known. Mara whispered, "We're standing inside the memory core of Earth." The monolith flared with light. Projections filled the sky, images of Earth surrounded by cosmic fleets, its surface shielded by colossal beings of radiant energy. Then, the same voice echoed again, resonating across every device on the planet. "They are coming again. Children of Earth, reclaim the fire that was yours." In that moment, Every activated human, those who'd heard the whispers, felt something ignite inside them. The old powers of myth, long dormant, were returning. And Elara understood this wasn't discovery. It was reawakening. A shadow eclipsed the moon 3 days later. Not natural, not human. The Skyblood fleet had arrived. Dark metallic leviathans emerging from folded space-time, identical to the ones in the holographic visions. Earth's defense networks went silent as a global EMP swept across continents. Panic spread. Then, in the silence, the monoliths activated. From ancient ruins rose shimmering barriers of light, Atlantean domes, Mesopotamian shields, Mayan beacons. Energy roared through ley lines across the planet. Humanity's myths had come alive. Elara and her team stood on the Kailash summit as the sky split open. The fleet descended, and yet the world did not tremble. The awakened humans stepped forward, eyes glowing with fractal light. They weren't soldiers, but descendants of the ancient guardians encoded into human DNA. Their very souls became conduits for the Earth's energy grid. Dr. Voss, Reza whispered, awe in his voice. They're using the planet as a weapon. Elara's gaze was fierce. No, as a shield. The first volley from the alien armada struck and vanished into golden light. Earth itself roared, not in pain, but defiance. The myths had returned, and they remembered their promise. The war lasted only hours. The Skyblood were driven back, their ships consumed by the living resonance of Earth's awakened network. When the final storm cleared, the skies shimmered with a crystalline aurora spanning every continent. The resonance nodes dimmed, their purpose fulfilled, but the humans who had awakened still glowed faintly with energy, as if carrying fragments of Earth's memory. Elara stood beside the great monolith, recording her final report. It wasn't technology, she said softly into her recorder. It was heritage. Our world has consciousness, and when its children were in danger, it remembered. The Council of Worlds, those ancient enemies of the Skyblood, made first contact weeks later. They called Earth the Lost Cradle. The myths of their ancestors had spoken of a world that once birthed gods, and now humanity had reclaimed that title. Children born after the event possessed minor abilities, resonant healing, empathic awareness, elemental control. Science couldn't explain it. Religion couldn't contain it. Elara looked to the stars and whispered, maybe we were never ordinary. Maybe the gods were always human, just asleep. As the aurora faded into dawn, a single phrase appeared across the monolith's surface, glowing with ancient fire. When myth becomes memory, humanity becomes divine.